Welcome everyone to our 12th day of our marathon. Unfortunately, we ran out of the English version of tikunay HaZohar. We actually went through the two volumes already, so I will have to go back to the Hebrew and I will try to do my best to translate you in the best understanding. Again, we're dealing with the core and the deepest of the wisdom of Kabbalah, the writings that came originally from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, so it can get to the depth of our soul and purify ourselves. Even if it's hard to understand, it's penetrating and communicating to the very depth of our soul. So let's start reading the Aramaic first, and then we're going to go into the translation. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, אלין תרין סמכי קישו, זז מוות מן ביתה, דיהו שכינתה ולא יתקרב לגבי הדעת, דיהו דכתיב ועזר, קרב יומת ואדוון דמזוזות, אינון ממש זז מוות. ובגין דה, ומעין דנתיר ברית מילה דיהו חותמה דילה, זז מוות מיני דיהו שטן, יצר הרע, רעה טמא צפוני, מלאך המוות ולא יתקרב לגבי, ולא ימות על ידי. ומעין דמשקר בברית מילה, הוא משקר בחותמה דמלכה, דיהו ראשים בה, שין דלת יוד, מלבר, יוד כבב כמלגב, מנהלן מאי קרא משמע, מיוד עלה לנון וו, השמיים הראשית תיבות, מילין סופי תיבות יוד כבב כ. בוודאי מען דמשקר בברית מילה, הסתלק מיני יוד כבב כיוד, ושין דלת יוד. ושריה עליה השטן, דיהו אל אחר, חוויה שלה ביתר, דהוויה מלגב. ושם עבד שלה ביתר שלישדי, מלבר, ודאי יהודה אמר, קרא את מקדש השם טמא וגומר. Let's go into the translation. וכתבתם על מזוזות וגומר, כתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. It says that you're going to write on the mezuzah, which is going to be installed inside your homes and all over your gates. מזוזות אלו הם שני סומכי אמת, עינו נצח ועוד, שהם שני רגליים הסומכים את הגוף שהוא תפארת, והוא נקרא אמת. So it says that the mezuzot, those are the two pillars of truth that related to Netzach, to the level, to the sphere of Netzach and Od. And those are the two legs that supporting the body. And the body considered to be, we know that the body part, if you know Tikkun Nefesh, it's related to Tiferet, which is Zir and Pin. And Tiferet, which we call Emet. So those are the ones that been supported with the mezuzah. Zaz Mavet, it means that mezuzah, the whole purpose of the mezuzah that we post on our doors is really to remove any energy of limitation, any energy of death. It means it's removing it, Zaz Mavet, which is the evil inclination, which related to the word death. And we know that the house is considered to be the Shekhinah, the house is always the vessel, which is Malchut. And the angel of death is not able to get near it. זהו שכתוב ועזר הקרב יומד. והאותיות של מזוזות הן ממש אותיות של זז מוות. So when you look at the word mezuzot, it's the plural word of the word mezuzah, it's exactly those letters, zaz mavet, removing death. We understand that the reason why we put the mezuzah, we post it in our gates, it's only because we don't want to allow any energy of the evil inclination to come to us. פירוש, המלכות בכללה נקראת בשם בית, so we know that the name of מלכות is house, it's the house, להיותה בית קיבול לכל האורות העליון. Since she is the vessel that receive all the lights from the supernal worlds. Like a physical house, בית קיבול לכל ראשו וצרכיו של אדם, that the physical house is like, within it we have all the belongings and all the things that a man needs. ונצח עוד שהם למטה מחזה, it means that the elevation of נצח והוד, the ספירות of נצח והוד, that they are below the chest. It's the secret of the right and left, which is in the gate of the house. שעל ידי היסוד, שהוא הקו האמצעי שמטה מחזה, הוא מאחד בית הקווים ימין ושמאל. And the secret of the level of יסוד, which is the center column from below of the chest, so we know that the sphirot is exactly been spread out on the different areas of our bodies, exactly like if you know tikunay nefesh. And it says that the kav emtzai is actually uniting between the left and the right. So always when we talk about central column energy, we know it's mixing the right, which is the desire to share, and the left, which is the desire to receive. And that's how it's able really to influence part of the judgment and the mercies into the world of Malchut, into the vessel. And then its light are opening and can make some kind of an impact. And this is the reason on the mezuzah, on the outside, it's written Shem Shaddai, Shin Daled Yud, which is a very elevated name of the Creator. And this is the one that is opening the Malchut. So from the outside of the mezuzah, on the scroll, we have the Shin Daled Yud. And Shin Daled is also a name of a demon, but when you add a Yud into it, what happens, it's actually the antidote for any demons to come in. ואחר שמלכות מקבלת את הדינים והחסדים, אינה קיפלה הקליפה ועשית יכול להיאחז בה. Says that even though the Malchut can digest all the mercies and all the judgment, because of that name, it's creating a process of purification, of sweetening the judgment, that it says that not allowing the negative system to all down into it. And that's the reason it says, Ve'azar akarev yuman, it says like the stranger that will try to get into the house will die. ולכן הדבן במזוזות יאמרו זז מוות. And this is the reason why they call the mezuzah zaz mavet, which means removing death. When we move to the next verse, Rabbi Shimon is opening another subject, and that subject is about circumcision. And it's not just about circumcision, it's about the one that is keeping his sexual acts in appropriate ways for the sake of love, not for the sake of lust. This is part of the biggest tikkunim, one of the 4 tikkunims that we are supposed to do on Rosh Hashanah. We know that one of them is idolatry, which means that we need to understand that the sexual energy have to be used for the sake of generating light instead of the sake of giving light to the other side. So let's see what it says here. ומשום זה מי ששומר ברית מילה, שהוא חותמו של הקדוש ברוך הוא, בסוד שם ש"ד י' זז אבל זה the person that is able to keep all his sexual energy for himself. He says he's the sealer of the Creator. So why is the sealer? Because it's the level of Yesod, and we know Yesod is funneling all the energy that exists in the upper Sfirot and allowing it to come down to Malchut. But the moment we have no control over our sexuality, it's actually there is no seal and the energy is just escaping away. And it's related to the same name, which is Shin Daled Yud, which means to remove that. That's related to the opponent, which is the evil inclination, which is called Ra. Ra, it means evil, bad. It means also Tameh, which is impure. צפוני מלאך המוות ולא יקרא בבד ולא ימות על ידו. Says there's someone that is able really to keep the gate, exactly like the mezuzah is keeping those negative angels to come into the house. That's how the sexual organ needs to be kept and not allowing any kind of negative energy to draw down into מלכות. ומעט משקר בברית, ומי שמשקר בבית מילה שהוא יסוד, ומשקר בחותם המלך. The person that is lying and is not able really to hold on to his sexual acts, which is yesod, he is actually lying in the ceiling of the Creator, which is the Anpin. שהוא רשום בו ביסוד, ש"ד י' מבחוץ, הוויה מבפנים. So we know that within the mezuzah, we have 26 times the name of the Yud Kevavke, the tetragrammaton. And from the outside, we have a different name, which is Shin Daled Yud. Externally, Shin Daled Yud, but the internal, it's the name of the Creator, the spell name of the Creator, which is Yud Kevavke. מי יעלה לנו השמיימה שראשי התיבות הם אותיות מילה. It says, who is going to be the one that's going to raise to elevate it Ram? So it says that the numerical number of that sentence is milah, and milah it's the circumcision or the place of circumcision where we're doing the circumcision. And the ending of this dispelled verse is the numerical number of the Yud Kevavke. From that, we understand that our reproductive organ is related very closely to the tetragrammaton. ובוודאי מי שמשקר בברית מילה, the person that is lying within his organs, מסתלקים ממנו אור השמות של הוויה וש"ד י'. Says that the moment we are spilling the sperm for no light reason, says that immediately those names that are within the sperms are getting away, the Yud Kevavke and Shin Dalet Yud, and then it's making a space for the Satan, for the opponent, to enter, which is the snake, as it's written here, that represent all the judgment of the lower worlds. השורה במקום של שם הוויה מבפנים, ושם המוות שהוא סוד דינים, ומנעולה השורה במקום של שדי מבחוץ. On one end we have the snake from the internal, that we allowing the snake to come into our house, and then he start taking control. In the beginning is a visitor, then he demands things, and then he becomes the owner of the house. While the drug of death, which means those are the different judgments that coming from the lack of Shin Dalet Yud, that's recited from the outside. Meaning the evil incarnation receive its power. Meaning that the evil incarnation is receiving its power to make damage and to divert us towards the left column, which attracts a lot of judgment. And the evil person with his misdeeds is amplifying the power of the left over the right. ונופל בזה לרשות היצרה, and that's how he falls into the ends of the evil incarnation. And those are the different names that controlling him from the other side, according to how much this person. So what I suggest today to look over all our sexual misacts and look within them carefully where they're coming from, to see the desire to receive for oneself alone are pretty much in control in everything around it, and to do tshuva over them. Very, very powerful. That's going to prepare us for that level that's going to be used in adultery when we get into the blowing of the shofar on Rosh Hashanah. So have an amazing day. All the best.